can't even begin to tell you how happy I am to meet you today. And let me begin by congratulating you on such another amazing performance in Gravity. I think I'm actually still recovering from having watched it. Yeah, I had these glasses on, and you know the way you need the IMAX glasses as well? Yeah. I got such a fright at one point. I smacked myself in the face, and I gave myself a little mark on my head.
Oh my gosh, don't sue us.
Not my finest moment.
It's not an injury received during the filming of Gravity.
But knowing how hard it was, even for someone like me, to watch it, I can only imagine how tough it was for you to have acted out those scenes, especially when you're more used to having other actors and those tools that make you comfortable around you. Is it fair to say this would be the toughest challenge that you've ever taken on?
Oh yeah. Physically, mentally, on all levels, yeah. But I wanted this experience with Alfonso. I wanted this opportunity. I always wanted to do something that essentially the guys got to do, you know, something that was physically demanding, that required you to just use every single part of your body in a way that you hadn't used it before. And yeah, be careful what you wish for, but I got it. And in the end, it was the perfect environment. Everything was exactly as it should have been.
Where do you even begin to portray that sense of fear? And it's just terrifying without ever veering into any kind of melodrama. Like, you've just completely nailed it. How did you know to approach that?
You know, you have your instinct, you know, you always know when you're chewing up the scenery, and it all depends on where the camera is. It's closer, you can get away with less. When it's farther away, you have to do bigger, but it always has to be truthful, and you have to be in that real place. That if you're faking it, you're gonna see it in the eyes. So I think, you know, in a weird way, I said, this is the most, it's like, I'm gonna mentally harm myself. Like, you put yourself in the most disturbing place for
emotionally
10 days,
as well.
Emotionally, and you spend a good 10 hours there, but at the end of the day, you can take your head off and you can put yours back on and go home. You know, other people can't.
Do you find it hard to separate the acting role? No, that's great.
No,
that's
because if you do 100% at home, it would work.
Yeah.
You got to go home and leave the work behind. I mean, if you have to keep working, then that's one thing, but when you try to go in the house, just leave everything in the workplace. Yeah.
Now, I know you only watched it fully through at Venice recently, but even for you watching it, do you also get a pain in your chest seeing yourself in those situations?
I was wondering why I was so anxious, and I thought it was because of the night. You know, those things are very daunting, and then I realized, oh my gosh, maybe I'm clenching my hands and having heart palpitations because it's the movie.
Yeah.
And usually actors, there's nothing that surprises us. We see the movie and we're like, ugh, I look terrible. What is happening to my face? You know, I should have died. Oh, actors are the worst.
Really?
But in this case, I had no idea that this is what was in Alfonso's head. And I was just blown away by it.
So you must have been pretty proud of your own performance too then.
No, not so much. I wasn't as annoyed with myself as I usually am from the first viewing.
Really?
If I watch it a few more times, then I'll be able to start concentrating on what I don't think I did well enough. But I looked at what everyone else did. And that's rare for an actor, to look at anything that anyone else has done.
Wow, so even winning the Oscar for The Blind Side, you're still as critical of yourself as though it doesn't give you any
It never changes. Every actor will tell you the same. You arrive on set, at least I do, and I go, I have no idea how to do this.
That's kind of reassuring.
Oh, it's daunting because you're starting fresh all over again. There's different dynamics. It's not the same crew. It's different people. They have different ways of working. What worked beautifully in one where everything clicked could be the complete opposite in another. And you're going, I don't feel it. We don't like each other. Something's off. You know, it's
But it must have been so comforting. I mean, because it's so challenging to be able to go to work and then have someone like George around, who you're obviously such good friends with. Does it make it all the more appealing to work with him?
When he was there, absolutely. It was like you had someone to commiserate with, and he's such a professional. It blows me away his amount of professionalism. And yeah, we both were doing something that was completely foreign to us. We were both uncomfortable. We were both in pain. And you could just look at each other going, is this killing you? It's like, yeah, it's killing me too.
You're on the same page.
And you have someone to commiserate. And we have very similar work ethics. So there was a shorthand. We knew how to power through it. And George does not leave the set. He's not someone that shows up and just does his thing and leaves. He's always there to help.
And on behalf of all the women in Ireland, I have to ask, how charming is Mr. George Clooney?
He's not only just charming, and he's not only just handsome, but he's also one of the hardest working people in this entertainment business, but he also is one of the greatest supporters of everyone around him for work well done. So he loves what he does so much, but he supports those around him to a level that you rarely see in this business.
Yeah. Now, you are just knocking out stellar performance after stellar performance, and you've done so much, and you've already achieved the Oscar, which I have no doubt you have to get it again here. Is there anything else on? Do you have a bucket list at all, or are you just kind of happy to?
I have no bucket list. I have one thing, and is that I would just like to grow old, to see my son grow up.
And is that how you stay so grounded?
You know what? I don't know if that's what it is. I know I'm mentally unstable sometimes. I mean, I have rose-colored glasses a lot of the times. I think all those little pieces together work, but in this new chapter of my life, I have this amazing energy force for almost 4 years now that has shown me a whole different way to live. And I'm taking his lead. Oh. I'm going to listen to what he says, because he seems to know some things that I don't.
Sandra, it was so lovely to meet you.
Nice
and congratulations
to meet you. Thank
again.
You so much. Thank you.